right. A person of interest in the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was caught with a manifesto, gun, and fake ID at McDonald's. Using a fake ID at McDonald's? When was that ever a thing? You don't need an ID for anything at McDonald's. This sounds just like a bullshit cover story for whatever illegal and unknown surveillance methods the FBI actually used to track him. They probably nabbed him by tracking his irises and a camera in the Mickey D's bathroom. I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your Dumpster Fire. Welcome to Dumpster Fire, where we make burgers out of your sacred cows. McDonald's burgers, in fact. Nobody's gotten more free advertising this year than McDonald's. There's a lot of news breaking this Monday morning. Thank goodness we started shooting late today, or we would have shot before all of the news broke. In the New York Post story, I believe they said they nabbed him because he was using a fake ID.
Oh, really?
Which is just disinformation. But then in the New York Times story, they said an unidentified customer had recognized him and turned him in. And I was like, you asked for miracles, and I give you the FBI.
You ask for miracles, dear. I give you the FBI.
Unidentified customer sitting in McDonald's. This story has been so weird, like so many of these stories that just disappear off the radar, like the guy who tried to assassinate Trump in Florida, the Vegas shooter. This one was another weird one. He had Monopoly money in his bag, allegedly, that he ditched in New York City. There's so much weirdness around the story. I know a lot of you are fighting in my mentions about, did the CEO deserve it or not? Death by spreadsheet is the same thing. It's not the same thing. The minute you endorse this kind of just reckless murdering, that gun will be turned on you eventually, my friends. That's just how these things work. And if you don't understand it, I suggest you go read about the French Revolution and see how that played out for all of the people in the French Revolution. So when we were covering the whole Wicked thing, I learned that you can't wear makeup at movie theaters when I was going down the Wicked rabbit hole of all of the publicity because of the Joker movie, when the media was freaking out and saying that there would be all these copycat killers who wanted to do vigilante justice exactly like they did in the Joker. So you couldn't wear makeup to movie theaters because of the Joker movie. And now you have all of these people in New York doing the costume contest of the United Healthcare shooter, like a lookalike contest. And the jacket is selling out. I mean, we have a weird, demented relationship to all of this stuff in America. These school shooters have fans and they get sent like, you know, pussy shots and stuff.
Wasn't the Joker movie makeup thing tied back to the shooting that happened during
Aurora,
the Batman Dark Knight Rises movie or something
like that? Well, it
goes
back to that. It was because of the shooting in Aurora. That's why they banned all makeup at you basically can't cover your face in a movie theater because of that shooting.
Right.
There was an actual shooting, for those of you who don't know. And then they banned makeup, and that's why people who were showing up dressed up like any of the Wicked characters or the witch, they were being turned away or told that they had to take their makeup off. And they were like, what the fuck? Like, guys, you're the school shooter generation, don't you know? Can't cover your face. It doesn't matter anymore, though, because they're tracking your irises. Breaking news. The alleged killer's name has been released by the press as we've been recording, and it still seems fishy and fake. I still have a hard time believing any of this is real. How could someone possibly be named Luigi in 2024? Luigi Mangione is the alleged killer, and now everybody is trolling all of his social media, his book recommendations, every paper trail that he left digitally and actually, because he wrote his manifesto by hand. And it turns out he's not a communist folk hero like the left was lionizing him as one all week. It turns out he was a member of the intellectual dark web. Luigi Mangione Welcome to the IDW. You should have just started a podcast instead where you could have worked out all of this frustration instead of murdering somebody in the cold blood. Just a suggestion. Now all of the jokes are really flowing. Mike Solana had a great tweet. He said, I'm supposed to believe that this psilocybin taking Ivy Leaguer, because apparently he went to the Ivy League, which is really just a hotbed for terrorist cells now. I'm supposed to believe that this guy was at McDonald's. Now they're like, it's right-wing terrorism after they celebrate it. The pivot is so ridiculous and insane. And now they're like, oh, he was a right-winger. I'm sure they're like planting a MAGA flag in his house right now. He was also apparently liking all of Uncle Ted, as we call him around here, even though it makes Maggie die inside. Ted Kaczynski's post raging against the medical community. Allegedly, he had a bad back injury, and so this is why he had a lot of problems with healthcare. We'll keep you abreast of what we find out here on Dumpster Fire. This is a breaking, fully fluid story, so there's going to be a lot of gaps between what we know as we record this and when this launches, because we suck, basically. This still doesn't seem real. I don't believe that anyone is actually named Luigi.
We don't have a category for this next one. We were trying to come up with something, and our ideas were not great.
One of my suggestions was white men are back. Not great. Daniel Penny was found not guilty in the Jordan Neely subway chokehold death. And I think it's very good that we're not punishing people who are acting heroic. Call me crazy. Let's make heroism great again. Daniel Penny is a former Marine. He was on a subway. There was a homeless man threatening the lives of people around him and was getting aggressive. Daniel Penny and two other people subdued this man. Daniel put him in a chokehold. He was then later died. They said Daniel was the person who killed him, but then the whole story is very weird. It came out that he actually wasn't dead when they took him off the subway. This kind of backfired because the guy never should have been charged in the first place. It was a bullshit charge. It was political. And I think they tried to weaponize the entire system against this man and make some point and say that he was like racist, and it was all junk, and he never should have been tried. And then the jury, I'm glad to know that they're like common sense people, but they're probably just average New Yorkers who ride the fucking subway. I'm sorry, people don't like crime, people of all colors. It's racist to assume that only white people care about crime. That is not the way this works. Normal citizens of all colors care about whether or not there is crime in their neighborhood, on their subway, and generally, it's the poor people who suffer the most when you allow these criminals to run loose. It's not rich people. It's people who ride public transportation. It feels like a good day for justice. Lady Justice prevailed, and she is smiling down upon us. And then, of course, Neely's family is swooping in, and they're trying to sue him and get money. And like, you didn't care about this guy when he's on the streets. It's very convenient that you're trying to monetize his death. It's also very gross.
Important stories we're ignoring.
Something happened in Syria, and as an American, it is my duty to know absolutely nothing about it, yet still have an opinion. The Assad regime has been overthrown. We might be bombing rebels, and it seems like a former designated terrorist is being rehabilitated by the deep state in conjunction with the corporate press and turned into a folk hero as we speak. I don't know much, but I do know that it seems like my tax dollars are probably funding both sides of it. That's my take. It's the meme. My tax dollars, also somehow my tax dollars. Before our next segment, don't forget to like, subscribe, touch my bells and buttons, and tell your friends about us. Please help us reach our lofty goal of 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, touch that bell and button. You're going to have to stick around through the ad to see the weather report, guys. Today's manly episode is brought to you by Sheath Underwear, and I love this sponsor so much. It has been just life-changing for my husband and his balls. He loves the support that he gets from their patented dual pouch system. It's revolutionary, and it cradles your balls lovingly in their own pouch, so I don't have to do it anymore. Just kidding. There's a separate pouch for the genitalia. It keeps everything separate from the legs, so you're nice and comfortable. Nothing's sticking together. Balls are kind of weird and gross. I love them. I'm sure they're huge, but you need to compartmentalize them a little, and then you're not constantly adjusting your junk. And there's also a women's line, which is amazing. I live in their sports bras. They've got very cute little booty shorts, new lines of underwear, which are my just everyday undies. There's always new patterns. Please check in. It's the greatest underwear that's ever graced the balls of man. Sheath Underwear, underwear of legends. Go to sheath.com and use the promo code dumpster to get 20% off your entire order. That is sheath.com, promo code dumpster to get 20% off. The link is in the description below. Now let's check the weather with Mary Lou Kaufman.
Ayer lunes todavía esta precipitación presente. Poco a poco esperamos que para las próximas horas estas lluvias, estas áreas de nubosidad se vayan alejando para internarse hacia la Unión Americana y asimismo.
Thank you, Mary Lou.
Troll in chief again.
President-elect Donald Trump and Dr. Jill Biden were flirting it up at the reopening ceremony of Notre Dame in France this past weekend. Trump also just launched a new cologne called Fight in time for Christmas. And being the brilliant troll that he is, he used the image of him and Jill to promote the new scent with the caption, "A fragrance even your enemies can't resist." What does this fragrance smell like? Is it like McDonald's fries, Cheeto queefs, and McRibs with a undertone of blood
And Musk.
and Elon Musk? If Elon isn't going to launch a fragrance immediately called Elon Musk, I don't know what timeline we're living in. Come on, Elon, get out there with your fragrance. Everybody was going nuts because they looked so friendly and happy, and she definitely voted for him, guys. There's no doubt in my mind. Absolutely not. The Bidens all voted for Trump, and they were very chummy. It's very chummy to be just chumming around with literally Hitler, the guy that you were like swearing couldn't be any part of democracy. And can Trump please stop acting so normal? We need him to do some crazy shit. I mean, launching a cologne is pretty nuts, but it's also exactly in alignment with Donald Trump being, this motherfucker is just ABC, man. Always be closing.
Always be closing.
Yeah.
He is just a salesman from the 80s through and through. Women! The UK National Health Authority backtracks on male breastfeeding. The organization had claimed that trans women born male could breastfeed and that the milk was comparable to real breast milk. However, they've now reversed their stance due to outrage and public pressure and also fucking science. And also, it's not the same thing. And I didn't need to be a fucking doctor to know that. We've been following this story. We've been on this beat for years. There was another story that came out last week that was in The Economist, I believe, about all the lawsuits are coming. As we've been saying, there's a woman who is suing because she had a double mastectomy at like 12 or 13 years old.
Oh.
And there's another one that I was reading about this morning that just came down the pipe. I think Elon was tweeting about it. He was saying many such cases. A 20-year-old who was fast-tracked onto irreversible healthcare decisions with not enough informed consent. And it's good to see that people are getting mad and there's outrage when you're trying to say that male chest feeding is an actual thing and that the milk, which is just hormone-filled insanity and gross, pumped up whatever, is the same as the magical mother's milk that we produce. It is seriously miraculous. All the old wives will tell you to put it on everything a baby has. Like one of the best pro tips I have for new moms, if you're breastfeeding or you have breast milk and your baby scratches themselves with their little nails, which they often do, or they get like a weird rash, breast milk. It is magic. There's no way you can simulate this with hormones and whatever.
With an antipsychotic drug and like a heart condition drug or something.
I just love that like one of the drugs you have to take if you're a trans woman is an antipsychotic.
In order to simulate milk for lactation.
Because obviously a man who wants to be a woman is psycho. No man wants that shit. We live in a clown world, but it does seem like common sense is reasserting itself. Reality remains undefeated, as we've been saying here on Dumpster Fire for years, and reality is reasserting itself. Well, that's it, guys. That's all we've got. If you love Dumpster Fire, the best thing you can do is become a supporter at Phetasy.com. You get the unedited version of Dumpster Fire, and we leave a lot of inappropriate things on the cutting room floor. As those of you who subscribe know, thank you for your support. You also get access to everything else we're doing, and trust me, it's a lot. And some housekeeping. We moved Walk-Ins Welcome off this YouTube channel, so please everyone go subscribe to our new YouTube channel, Walk-Ins Welcome with Bridget Phetasy. There's a link in the description. Just go hit it up. It's a new baby channel. We're running a holiday sale until December 15th, 20% off all orders over $50 for the general public. The promo code is Merry Phetasy. And we've brought back the women hoodie with a slightly different design, and we'll have new holiday pajamas, and the discount does not apply to new designs. The sale ends December 15th, so you can get all of your orders in time for Christmas. So get on that shit and stop being slackers. Christmas is coming. Thank you to everyone who helps make Dumpster Fire possible. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our audience, subscribers, supporters. We love you. We love seeing you in the chat. We love your jokes. We love when you fight in the comments about stuff. Trying not to go crazy. And now to cleanse your palate, the internet is glorious.
That's because I'm non-binary, and I also use they and them, because calling me a she or a he doesn't feel right to me.
Remember, life is absurd. Don't take yourself so damn seriously. Take the work seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. This has been your Dumpster Fire. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich!
Woo!
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.